Einen wunderschönen guten Abend und schön, dass Sie heute Abend wieder dabei sind zu einer weiteren spannenden Folge unserer Talkshow. Ich kann Ihnen versprechen, es wird faszinierend, tiefgründig und persönlich, denn mein Gast ist jemand, dessen Visionen und Lebenswerk weit über das Gewöhnliche hinausgehen. Er ist Arzt, er ist Alchemist und forscht seit langem an einer Sache, die wirklich in das Tiefgründigste gehen, was wir als Menschen so kennen, das Geheimnis der Unsterblichkeit. Herzlich willkommen, Dr. Tamas Szikra. Welcome to my show. And yeah, we will hear many things about you, about your life, about all your science and your believings, projects, things like this. But we first start with your life. So, is there an experience in your childhood or youth that you have that had a lasting impact on your life like it is today?
Well, not in the classical sense of like having some kind of paranormal or mystic experience. The only one basic guiding experience around me in my early childhood was that I looked around and everybody was miserable. They were either alcoholics or they were outright broken after the Second World War. I was born, and so people were very, very burdened then. And then I simply looked at them and I saw that all of them are sick, and I didn't want that. So that was when I made my basic unconscious decision then that I don't want that kind of life, and I want to know why it is the way it is and how it can be solved. About that.
Where is it? Where was that?
It is Hungary, in a small, at that time it was a village, now it's a town. It's a small village in Hungary. My mother was the first generation of intellectuals from a farmer family, and my father was from an intellectual family. They were all teachers for generations, and that's what there was. So I was basically growing up on the farm with my parents and grandparents. We did not live on the farm, but very near. So we were always together.
Mm-hmm. Is there a life wisdom that had shaped you in any form when you realized what is around you?
That was it. The stupidity of what I realized was around me.
That
was the shaper.
Okay,
that was the thing that pushed me and compelled me not to do it that way, not to sink into that same pattern of beingness.
Mm-hmm. But that means if you want to be different or you want to have a different life, then you need to take risks normally, and you have to try many things. What gives you the perseverance to go on your way? Or gave by that time?
Gave by that time. That time, in my early years, young age, like university years and high school years, what I wanted was to know. That was the only thing. I just wanted to know. I was interested in everything, read everything, talked to everybody, tried to go everywhere, and I was just gathering knowledge. And then when I went to university, I went to medical university because my mother was always sick. She was always dying. There was not one normal weekend because we always had to go to the hospital to visit mom, which was okay, but wasn't okay. So I decided that I have to learn how to heal because I have to heal mom. And that was why I went to medical university. Otherwise, I wanted to be a clockmaker. Mm-hmm. I'm fascinated by mechanical clocks and the art of making clocks. But my mother said that I have to study and I can't be a clockmaker. So, family is a sort of decisive factor.
By that time, was the medical way for you the only way, or did you experience things that you had side ways, like spiritual ways or something?
Not spiritual, like not then. I was, you see, when I went to medical university, I started in 1980, and I started medical university in Moscow, and that was the darkest period of communism, or almost the darkest, the last few years of decay. So there was no spirituality there whatsoever. What I wanted was to know what they know. And that was all there is. What the doctors know, that I can know as well, and then I will decide what to do with it. And for that I had to study. And that was also, there was nothing much until I was like 26, 27.
How did your family react when you did your research, your way of life going in the direction of being a medic?
Oh, family is always the biggest burden there is. First, I married early, and I am 47 years married to my wife. She never believed anything I did. She never believed in anything I did. She never believed that there is merit to what I'm doing, because actually how stupid it is to look for immortality and all healing substances and things like that. And so the family never believed anything, doesn't believe now, is the typical thing of the shoemaker has no shoes. So it is always like that, and it's like that with everybody I talk to who are misfits like myself. The family never ever accepts you.
Were there moments of despair when you have thoughts maybe to just give it up, when all the people are around you and do not believe you?
I believe that moments of despair in a person's life, they come about because the person is prone to despair. Despair is a mental and emotional attitude. You have to be willing to be despaired, and then you are despaired for whatever reason. Then you like being despaired because you were willing to be despaired, and you educate yourself, you train yourself into despairing with ease. So there develops an ego personality which is prone to despair. There are people who are prone to anger. There are people who are prone to despair. There are people who are prone to suicide. There are people who are whatever. So I was never, ever prone to despair, so I couldn't really remember, or I can't remember any real despairing periods of my life. There were times when I was sad. There were times when I felt I am betrayed, but otherwise, no, not despair.
But the opposite is to have success. So what does success means to your life? Or
no, the despair's opposite is not success. The despair's opposite is what's the word? When you are driven with purpose, when you are not enchanted, but impressed, not impressed. Oh.
Yeah, when you're driven with purpose, does match it. Does
but
that change over the time, that drive you have? Has it changed? Or was there a starting point when you said, okay, now this is not my way and this is my way? Does this way has changed and formed and shaped over the time?
Not really. You see, I was lucky in this sense because I love sorting out things. I love solving puzzles. I love repairing machines. I love to actually take problems apart. And since that is my real passion, and I'm passionate about that, and I started doing that kind of life of solving things around me, I never actually ever had to choose my way. It was such a powerful drive that I was always somehow in the middle of solving things. And
How do you keep that curiosity alive?
I don't think I have to keep it alive. It's just free-flowing. It's coming.
It's always there.
I never, ever had to make an effort to keep my curiosity or my drive in motion. Never. It was always there, and it's always there, and I hope it will be there tomorrow as well, because that's what's interesting about life.
Mm-hmm. We talked about clocks. Do you have any kind of hobbies outside of your research? And maybe the people don't know about it. We talked about horses. Is that a hobby, or is it?
No, horses. I have horses, and horses are my family. I don't have a dog, but I have horses.
Mm-hmm.
And at the farm where I have my horses, I also have, first I had 3, then I have some 19 cats now because I feed them. They come and I feed the cat. So I have cats, but no, horses are not a hobby. Horses are a way of life. And I realized when I was, about 10 years ago, that I am aging. Then I didn't solve yet the puzzle of longevity. And then I decided that I need something that will keep me in physical shape, that is, it will compel me to do physical work every day. Now, keeping 5 horses is perfect because you have to feed them, you have to care for them, you have to clean them, you have to ride them, and you have to do everything that they destroy, like repairing the fences, etc., etc., etc. So it's physical work. And then it's very good because it keeps me and my wife in good shape, because we have to work, basically.
How many hours a day you work with the horses, or anything that
2-3 hours goes for the horses every day. Yeah.
So there's enough time for research.
Oh yes. There's time for everything.
So, was there another person you have met in your life that shaped or directed you in a certain direction?
Well, naturally there are people I met that made an impression on my way of thinking and way of doing. But basically, I have no guru, I have no master, I have no teacher. I am a self-made kind of guy. So I never had the opportunity and the pleasure to have a master. Those guys who have masters, they are very happy and very easygoing because there is somebody who tells them what to do and how to do it. I never had any such master. Mm-hmm. So I'm self-made.
So when did you start to have this wish for humanity, for to be independent of medicine and all these, and to become immortal?
To become immortal, that was when I was 26 or 27. I read a book about immortality and I liked it much. And then I decided that, immortality is the nice thing. Mm-hmm. And otherwise, I wanted to heal, because when I graduated from the university, I went to a hospital to work as an anesthesiologist. And I did that for 2 years until I had to go to the army, because at that time it was still communism and we had to serve a year in the medical corps. And then after that, I didn't go back to the hospital, and I started a private kind of practice, like entrepreneurial thing. That was the end of communism, and it was okay then to do that. And then I was very quickly thrown out of medicine because I was thinking differently. It was 87, 88, 89, the start of the AIDS epidemic. And then I looked at the guys who were there, because Budapest is a small place, and I knew lots of colleagues there, and I had acquaintances in the hospital where they started treating the gay people with AIDS, with developed AIDS, not just HIV. And then I thought that I could maybe try heal them, because they are basically dying there. So I talked to my colleagues and I asked them if I could try heal some of those guys who were in bad shape there. And then they said, yes, okay. So I took their blood, their saliva, their urine, and developed from their own body fluids a homeopathic remedy, which I gave back to them, and they healed. And then that was a big no-no. So in very short order, I was thrown out of medicine by court order. I was convicted of
Just because you
fraud.
healed people?
I healed people, and I was not quiet about it. Yes, that's why. This is how it is. And then they said that since I am so highly trained academically, I should have known that homeopathy as such does not exist. I said, oh.
Okay.
And then my license was revoked. That was 1992 when the court order was done. And from that time, I am not allowed to work as a doctor. And from that time, I am alone, and nobody's breathing down my neck. There is no supervision from the medical corps. So I'm doing what I want to do, and from that time on, I have a wide medical practice because people are coming to me because I can do things that they cannot get in a hospital. And so I did that all my life, and for the last 40 years, I'm a well-respected doctor out of the doctor system,
Yeah.
and I'm very happy. And basically, that was the real life-shaping thing that happened to me, the best thing in my life, that I was thrown out of the profession as a disgrace. So I could learn how to heal. Now I know how to heal, and they don't know how to heal.
Okay, so if you can you heal any person, or is it a part of a kind of working together with a person who is ill and you?
No, there is no such thing as I can heal anything, but mostly the biggest problem, the only problem I have, is the patient. Does the patient allow me to heal him or her? And usually that is the tricky part. So whenever I start healing a more or less difficult case, I mean serious case like cancer, like diabetes, like neurological disorders, like sclerosis multiplex or something like that, or multiple sclerosis. The thing is that I have to have the patient allow himself or herself to be healed. So it is not like as what we know, the patient goes to the doctor, he says, "Good morning, doctor, I'm here, I have this problem, would you please heal me?" It's quite straightforward. Then the doctor does the therapy, the patient does not heal. Why did the patient not heal? The doctor did everything right, according to the protocols, which normally heals a patient, or at least helps the patient partially to recover, but the patient does not recover. Why? Now, this was my basic study of research back 30 years ago. And then I discovered that people don't allow themselves to heal.
Why?
Because of their conscience. They perfectly know that they have been bad caretakers of their bodies. They will never admit it, but they do know. The problem, you see, is that we are humans. We humans are basically endowed or created with the divine spark, the God particle. We are creative. We don't just think. We are creative, we are capable of love, we are capable of compassion, we are capable of social behaviors, so we are basically godlike in our nature. And since we are godlike, it is compelling us to behave like gods. That is why in the Bible, in every scripture, spiritual scripture, it is emphasized so much that you have to keep the code of conduct. Those are the 10 Commandments, and they have it in the Muslim faith, they have it in the Hindu faith, they have it in everywhere. The code of conduct is everywhere. Why? Because you are a representative of God. You have the God particle in you, so you belong to a special breed, and a special breed can only behave like that breed is supposed to behave. Now, you are God. You messed up your body. Now your body is sick. Hence, you have not behaved like a God, but you are God. So you committed basically the highest sin there is possible, that is called treason. You basically, what a sick person, and this is a very hard thing to swallow, but a sick person is guilty. And he knows he is guilty, and because he knows he is guilty, he made himself sick to suffer, to punish himself. So every illness, in philosophy it is written, every illness is self-punishment. Now, patient comes to the doctor, he says, heal me, but that's a lie. Patient comes to the doctor, he says, hey, doctor, I'm punishing myself with cancer. Can you tell me any way that I will be right feeling that I don't have to punish anymore myself with cancer, because then I will allow my body to heal?
How do you turn around the people?
Well, that is an interesting thing. I turn around the people, most of them I cannot turn around. If I can turn around someone, they have to be really receptive to this whole way of thinking. Most of them are not. Those who are not, I simply heal them the way I can with my advanced methods of healing without expecting too much. They usually feel better afterwards and they are very happy, and it is more that they get from any other doctor, so it's okay. But when you say heal, you see, this is a sloppy way of using the word. Heal is really heal. Like, he was lame, and he's not lame at all. He was unable to breathe well, and now he's totally well. He had a bad heart, and now he has a totally good heart. That is heal. Otherwise, it's just make it a bit better. So healing takes place only when the sin is resolved. When you have yourself given yourself salvation, absolvation.
To me, that has something to do with believing in myself, in a way.
Yes. Yes, but you can't believe in yourself when you're a traitor.
Okay, but I can change my mind.
You can't change your mind. These are very, very dangerous and deep topics to talk about. You can't. You can try. You can try again. You can try again. And if you put in a hell of a lot of effort, then maybe in a few years' time you can do it. I usually see I had the same problem. Everybody has the same problem. I realized when I was, 45, that I'm a traitor because I don't behave like I should behave, and I sinned in many ways, hence I had all kinds of problems. And I decided that, yes, I will have to forgive myself. And then the question was, how do I forgive myself? Nobody taught me. Is it possible to forgive myself? It's possible to say that I forgive myself. It's possible to say, I forgive you. But do I actually do that? And then I tried to forgive myself, and I couldn't. So I realized that this is the one single biggest obstacle to my understanding of this whole business I am in, the business of healing, the business of longevity. And I devised a method to learn how to forgive myself. And it's a real good method. And I learned it in about 2 months, every day, 2 hours of work. It was like a
developing process.
Developing process, yeah. And when it was done, then I knew how to forgive myself and how to do it. And then I realized that I have a method. I can teach people how to do it.
Did you read books about it, or where does the knowledge come from?
Oh, I did a lot of psychotherapy for 15 years. I was doing psychotherapy. I was doing regressive hypnosis. I was doing all sorts of things because that was what was interesting, and that was what people around me needed. So I knew the methods of psychotherapy and how they are doing psychotherapy, and I could think up psychotherapeutic methods myself. So I taught up a method of learning how to forgive, the method of forgiveness. And then when I did it and I could forgive myself, my life turned into when the flowers start blooming. Everything was right from then on. Then I said, oh, that's very nice. Let's teach it to people. So patient comes and say, okay, you can't heal because you can't forgive yourself. Say, yeah, I can't forgive myself. And every single person with who I talked about that, they agreed that, yes, they cannot forgive themselves. I said, okay, I will give you a method with which, if you do that method for a month or two, you will be able to forgive yourself because you will learn how to forgive yourself. Not one did it.
And why?
Because there is a thing called ego, the human ego.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And the human ego is all powerful.
Yes, it is, definitely.
There is the body, there is the biomass in the body, all the bacteria, fungus, pathogens, this and that. Then there is the mind. But the mind is not the mind anymore. The mind has turned into an ego. The ego is like an artificial intelligence. It started having power over the spirit, which sits in the body and around the body. So you are the spirit. You have a mind that drives the body, but that mind evolved into a God knows what, that is called an ego. So what happens now is the tail is wagging the dog, not the dog is wagging the tail. And that is the difference between mind and ego. So when there is an ego, and every single person has an ego, this is the biggest thing in ancient and modern technologies, spiritual technologies, to get rid of the ego, to get rid of the self-aware mind. And that is the biggest problem. So because there is an ego, the ego will convince the person not to do what the person has to do.
So how did you come across the immortality pill or liquid?
The immortality pill or liquid, I searched. I read first what was in the early 80s. I read a book called The Red Lion by Maria Sepes, which is quite a famous book. And I liked it very much. And I had sort of a resonating thing with that book. So I thought I should look into that deeper. And then I started reading about alchemy, started reading about the history of alchemy and about alchemical procedures and how this, how that, and the Red Lion and what is that. And then as the years went by and I put in more and more and more work, I started really enjoying that. And I wanted to get to the bottom of it, to own and be able to make the Red Lion. Because you see, when you work for something a lot, then you want to have it. So that's how.
So what did you feel in the first experiences with the Red Lion to your body? Which effect did it have?
Nothing. When you take the Red Lion first, then what you experience is a no mind state. There are no thoughts, no emotions, just silence. A normal person like my wife, I gave it to my wife after I have taken it. She said, wow, how calm. Everything's so calm. For her, what for me is no mind, for her it was calmness. Real calmness. That is the first thing you experience with it, no mind.
But you said she doesn't believe in what you do and what you're researching.
Of course she doesn't believe.
So is that the difference, that she feels calmness and you feel just...
No. She didn't bother to look for the proper word to explain what she actually feels. And I looked for the proper word. It's not calmness. It's actually no mind, no thoughts. And the mind simply stopped. And she does not think that is important, etc. So she only said it was calmness, but she must have felt the same because it's the same. And the next thing, what happens is you want it again. There is nothing. There is no big boo 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 when you take no rockets flying and fireworks. It's you take it and you go, oh, I want it again. And then if you can, you have it again. If you can, you have it again, and then you realize that you start healing. And then you have it again, and you have it again, and you realize that you're healing even better. And then you get to know the process to a level that you know that this is what is healing me, this is how I get it, this is how I take it, this is what happens. And then it gradually builds up into an experience which is not explained anywhere. Nobody will come and tell you. There is no doctor who will tell you that take this pill and tomorrow morning this is what you will feel.
So how has your life changed from the moment on when you started using the pill? Or did you use a pill or a liquid?
It's a liquid.
It's a liquid. So how has your life changed?
Dramatically. Absolutely dramatically. You see, it's very, very unexplainable. And it should be unexplainable because there is no widespread evidence of it happening. Very few people experience it because very few people have access to it. And you simply, first, you feel like everything is possible. Then you start seeing answers. You start seeing solutions that you have not seen before. You never have emotional setbacks. You never feel bad. You never feel tired. You never feel fear. There is no fear. This is very important. You never feel despair. And you're always on top of the physical world, but not in a supernatural sense. I am just as human as you are, but not. When something happens that is not supposed to happen, like there is a traffic jam and I have to be somewhere in time, I don't feel what a human feels. And these are subtle things, but still a hell of a lot. And the healing happens automatically. The emotional state changes, and from that the perceptions change. And when the perceptions change, you perceive everything differently, and you start reacting differently.
And you reported before that you had some kind of lucid dreams and kind of rejuvenation. How do you personally experience these phases of your life?
These are very difficult to say, and they are... Dreams, there are always dreams. Dreams are coming, and when you start lucid dreaming, or your dreams are lucid. I mean, every night I'm dreaming. And
As we all do, yeah.
Yes, but in every dream of mine, I'm awake. I perfectly know that I am dreaming, and the dreams do not affect me. So like there is a dream of recurring dream, which comes even now, that I am still in the university, but I am already working as a doctor, but I did not finish the university, and I am working as a doctor, and that dilemma there. And it was a recurring dream for many years. And it always was a very bad, emotionally charged thing. And now I have the dream occasionally again, but there is no emotional charge because I am wide awake while I am dreaming. And I know that this is only a dream. And there is no burden there. So you have everything that a human experiences, but without the burden.
Did you have some kind of testers you worked with so that you take the liquid and others do? And were there any kind of unusual phenomena while people take it?
No, only healing. You see, when you are making the red line yourself, you know exactly what you're doing. You know what's in there. So you don't have to be worried about side effects and such. And the red line has no side effects when it is made the way I make it. So you can take it. And I did take it. And I do take it, and when I give it to my wife or somebody else, I know exactly what will happen. They will start healing. That's all. From that dosage which I'm giving them, and there is never enough.
Even if you don't believe, like your wife?
Yes,
She
you
will-
heal.
she
The body
heals as
heals.
well?
The body heals. The red line, or the agent, or the stuff of immortality, is life energy, prana. It's actually a liquid that is a condensed life energy. Okay, now we have to go into specifics
So,
here. What
yeah.
is life energy?
Okay, but before we come to life energy, I read about a 300-year-old hermit, and where does the recipe for the red line comes from?
Not from him. A recipe came
what
from him
is
that
his
was
role?
not. A recipe came from him, but that was not workable after all. And what I do now is different. It doesn't come from him, and I have not heard about him for years now. He's doing his thing somewhere, wherever.
Okay, so coming back to life energy, what is life energy?
Life energy is the energy of life. There is the physical things and there is the living things. The living things are operated by life energy. And life energy is the element zero. Okay. You live because you breathe life energy. You don't breathe, 5 minutes later you're dead. We are taught in university and it's general knowledge that because you are deprived of oxygen, you die in 5 minutes. If you can't breathe, you die. That's true. But you don't die just because the oxygen, but life energy is everywhere. And you breathe in life energy, and your lungs separate the life energy from the air, and that is what feeds the body. So life energy is an energy that is everywhere. This is the element zero of the periodic table. Mr. Mendeleev, who did the periodic table, it starts with hydrogen. The first element is hydrogen. But there was an element zero, which is not there anymore. It was cleverly removed in the early 1900s, 1902, 1905, by academia, because the academia and the powers that be didn't want everybody to know that there is an element zero. Element zero is life energy. So there is prana, there is hydrogen. And hydrogen is the physical energy atom, and life energy is the spiritual and emotional and astral, and that is the life. So that is where they meet. And there is an element zero, then there is element one. And that is the secret of alchemy.
So, what convinces you most taking the liquid? It's the psychological part or the physiological part?
Both. Psychological, physiological, both, because they appear simultaneously, and both.
If you talk to kind of normal people, do you receive criticism? Do you receive kind of he's crazy thoughts, and how do you cope with that?
I don't talk to normal people. You see,
normal people like me.
You're not normal.
Okay.
You're not normal. You're very, very far from normal. And with normal people, I talk like you talk to normal people. I talk about things you can talk about with them. And I talk with them at their level. And so there is no such topics like this one. You don't talk with a normal person about immortality because they cannot comprehend it.
So is there kind of criticism, maybe on the internet or maybe personally or universities, so that people come and say, hey, this guy is crazy?
No.
Is that in a way?
No, I'm not present on social media. I'm not present anywhere. I'm like a hermit, like a recluse myself, living in my farm, living at my farm and doing my thing there. And people come to me because many people know me, but they come to me with goodwill and they come to me for help. So they don't criticize me, they don't harm me. And since I'm not stepping on anybody's toes, I'm not stepping on the toes of academia. I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm not hurting anyone. There is no beef with anybody. So I'm not attacked.
You're not
in
inside
any way.
the system. You're
I'm not
outside.
inside the system. I'm outside the system, and I'm very quiet, and I'm a threat to no one.
Mm-hmm.
So no, there is no criticism.
When you received the recipe for the red lion, or did you find it out? How was that? That moment when you had the recipe and say, okay, this is it. Now I can make my own liquid.
No, it was done as it is always done, which I did not ever understand. They wrote in every script and manuscript and book that when you're ready, the master will come to you. And so I just did my thing and did what I could. I was trying to make it, couldn't make it. And then one fine morning, the master contacted me and said, this is how you do it. And I said, why? Because you're ready. I didn't know I was ready. I didn't know anything about it.
Until then, it was trial and error.
Until then, it was absolute trial and error, mainly error, little success, and lots of other
Was that
error.
dangerous?
It's always dangerous. It's always dangerous. Yeah, I mean, to my health. Yeah, it happens, but not. I didn't die, so
of course
it's okay. Yeah. It's okay
because you're here. I see that.
Yeah. So yes, it was dangerous. Sometimes I had quite a bit of toxicosis and stuff like that, but I came out of it, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm. And so, how would you explain to more or less medical layman, your kind of method? It's not, to me at the moment, it's not something I can grab. So
yeah.
So exactly, you take the liquid or you take a pill, and then
it's not taking the liquid or taking the pill. That is a
there must be more to it.
Yes, there must be more to it. It's actually knowing what is important. Well, I always explain to everybody, and if somebody asks what it is all about, and I always explain that it's a way of life, and those who are doing alchemy and they know what they are doing certain things absolutely differently. For example, I never ever drink water that everybody always drinks.
And why is that?
Because the biggest poison is water. The sole biggest cause of every single illness is poisoning. The biggest poison of all is water. And everybody every day drinks water.
I mean, I have water in my...
Yes, and you're having poison there. Okay. You see, every single person is drinking water from the ground. Mm-hmm. You would drink either fountain water, mineral water, municipal water, water from the river, water from a creek, or water from the ocean or the sea, which is desalinated, or the best one which you can have is water from glaciers, because that is rainwater, and rainwater is more or less the best, but that is very seldom. Mostly you drink water from the ground. And water from the ground is not meant for human bodies.
How's that?
How's that? Because that contains death. The cycle of death happens in the earth. Mm-hmm. The earth is the cattle which everything goes in, and it goes through the cycle and everything grows out again. So that contains that. No alchemist ever drinks water from the ground. We separate water from the humidity of the air. You have to separate water from the humidity of air because that is living water. If you drink that water, you become immortal.
Or you just collect rainwater.
No. Rainwater is inoculated. Rainwater, how rain forms. There is the cloud, and in order for it to turn into rain, it must be inoculated. There must be particles of dust or anything go into the water to form a bubble.
Yeah, of course.
And then it falls down. And when it forms in the bubble, there is usually dust in there. And that dust is being dissolved by the rainwater because the distilled water which is up there is very aggressive. And that rainwater is already toxic when it comes down. It's way less toxic than the spring water or the
because it was
mineral
not
water.
in the ground.
Because it's not in the ground. It's way less toxic, but it's not that. The real water of life is water separated from the atmosphere. So alchemists only drink water from the atmosphere. And then that water has to be a bit refined, and it becomes the real water of life.
How do you do that? Refining the water or separate it from the
with the sun's rays. Look at nature. Alchemists, what they do, they look at nature. What happens? When the sun starts shining and there is heat, there is water, there is evaporation from the ground, and that evaporation and that circulation causes life.
Do you need a machine for that? Can you do it?
You can. It happens in nature. Look at what happens in spring. There is the first sign of spring is it's like a boom of life. Every tree, every leaf, everything comes out in a matter of 2-3 days. Why?
Because the little green.
Everything flourishes. That is a boom of life, and this is because of the sun. So the alchemists they make the water of life. If you drink the water of life, you're never sick.
Can you buy it somewhere?
No, you have to make it yourself, and you see you can't. I was thinking about making enough to sell it. It's impossible. There is always much more demand than you can make. So I decided not to. No. What I can do is I can show the technology to anybody who is interested, and then he or she can start doing it. But you have to work it on your own. And I can help with the technology and stuff like that. But otherwise, no, you can't buy that. Impossible. However much I make, there are always somebody in the family, from the family, in the immediate vicinity. There is always a very sick person popping up. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. So it's impossible.
Can you make 1.5, 2 liters, what a normal person needs per day?
Yes. A normal person needs about 2 liters a day, 3 because you're cooking as well, and if you're cooking your soup, then cook it with good water. Yeah, I can make. I'm using an equipment which makes about 10-15 liters a day. That's enough for a family. Yeah.
Okay, so if we talk about immortality, that would mean that you live for hundreds of years, and how do I have to think about this? Do I stay in a certain age when I take the liquid and I'm, let's say, 40 or 50 and I just stay that way for the next 500 years? Or do I change in any form?
Until you're 50 or 60, you don't even think about immortality. You start thinking about immortality when you start feeling your mortality. And until you have a good potent sexual life, you're not really worried. The problems start when your sexual life starts going down and you have pains everywhere. That's about 50, 55, depending on how toxic you live. Normally 50, 55. So that is when you start thinking about longevity and possible immortality. And how it happens is if you have the luck to find someone who gives you the answers, then you get the water of life, the liquid which you need. And then you start drinking the liquid, then first you heal. It takes about a year to heal because there is always lots of illnesses in the body, even if you say you're healthy. Lots of illnesses. About 1.5 years or 2 years that you heal. When you're healed, then you start rejuvenating. And rejuvenating from then takes about 3, 4, 5 years. 3, 4, more or less. And by then, you're back to 30, 25 physically and biologically and appearance-wise from 55. And then if you keep on taking that water, you don't age. If you stop and you drink again the deadly water, then you again age. Then 20 years later, you can do another cycle, come back and do it. But you can keep your body working as far as I can see now. Well, for 1,000 years or 2,000 years, definitely a body is okay. if you keep it in good shape.
And that's only the water? It's the liquid is not the water, the red lion liquid, is it?
Well, when you solve the riddle of life energy, you can obtain it from anything. I made it from garlic. I made it from ginger. I made it from gold. I made it from water. I made it from air. I can make it from earth, soil. You can make it from anything because life energy is everywhere. The method of separation is different, but you're separating the same thing, only in another way. And when you know what you're doing, you can do various kinds of energy products, life energy products, and they will produce all the same. There is one energy product which looks like a red powder. That is the original red lion. There is one which looks like a brown, thick goo, like wax, brownish wax. There is one which is a white salt. There is one which is a see-through liquid, watery liquid. There is one which is a yellow tincture. And they are all the same.
So, but can you buy that or do you have to make it yourself?
No, you can buy it, but in very few places you can buy it, and it's never sold like in a shop or something like that.
It's not on Amazon.
It's not on Amazon. It's never a business kind of thing. You have to go to an alchemist who makes it. You have to talk to the alchemist. If the alchemist likes you, then the alchemist will tell you, okay, I will give it to you. This is how much it costs. Then you pay the alchemist. Then the alchemist gives it to you and you have it. And then you can go back again to the alchemist for more. But you have to have a personal connection. Otherwise, it doesn't work because you don't know where to ask for.
Do you think that immortality brings more blessings or more new problems to the world?
Both. But immortality, see, if you look at my life, I don't anymore participate in normal social life. When you become immortal, you become so different from the others that you don't fit in. And you're not sorry that you don't fit in. You're perfectly okay on your own. And so you become less and less of a blessing because you don't take part in it. You don't want to change the world. You see that the world cannot be changed because the world consists of 8.5 billion people, which are all of them are individual characters and individual souls. And they all have their own agendas. They all have their own wills. You can't change the world.
So where's the benefit of being immortal?
Oh, the benefit. It's living without human problems, living a much more interesting life, living a much longer life, and all the way healthy. Do you need anything more?
No.
No.
Not really.
Not really. And of course, money is not a problem, and those human problems are not there. And that's the thing.
Is time relevant when you are immortal?
No. Well, in the human sense, no. In the eternal sense, yes, of course, but human sense, no. So when you are immortal and you know that you have 500 years from now and you will still be here, no.
And if you see the world around you now, and you say, okay, many people say, what a bad world, and everything goes down, and blah, 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 all these things. And you can think, okay, maybe 100, 200 years, it lasts this way, and then it will change. So does that make something with you?
No, it doesn't make anything with me. The world has gone down many times. And when you look at it, when I look at it, I see that it has happened many times before, and now it's happening again, and it will happen again, and this is a cycle. Humans live that cycle without knowingness. Humans basically live like animals. They are cruel, they are stupid, they are reckless, they are there's lots of problems with humans, with us humans. And so there is a result of that recklessness and cruelty. This is the result. And when a culture is built, then the culture goes down. The Roman Empire was built, the Roman Empire went down. The Egyptian Empire was built, it went down. The Hammurabi Empire was built, it went down. The Persians were built, they went down. The modern one is just going down, and there will be another one afterwards. And that's it. There is no problem with that. Of course, you should not die.
Mm-hmm. If you don't die and you think about...
You can die. You don't die of natural causes. But of course, if you would come to me with a sword and cut off my head, I would be dead. So you do die. You are not indestructible. You are immortal of normal causes.
Okay, so no illnesses.
Illness, there are no illnesses, but of course physical injury or poisoning can, of course, happen.
Yeah, that's not...
Or a bullet.
If you have
straight
bullet,
through.
car accident.
Car accident, not really. You don't go into it. You can say that, no, car accident, no.
Okay, but if I crash my car at the next tree, I'm gone.
Don't crash your car. Don't be so stupid to crash your car. No, so, it very seldom happens with an immortal that they crash their car.
So it's an interesting thought to... Some people say the world today is not worth being in it.
Ah, that's despair.
Yeah.
The world is always worth being in it.
That's despair, definitely.
Yeah.
And what would you answer to such a person?
Nothing. It's his business. If he thinks the world is now not worth being in, well, it's his decision. Okay, he's wrong, of course. That is the answer. You're wrong, buddy, because there is a lots of things in this world which is worth living for. So you see, there is this big hoo-ha in the alternative media that the world is ending, it's going down, and it's Third World War, and this and that and that and that. And
yeah, we heard that many times.
I was driving here for this interview with you, and I'm looking around while I'm driving, and Germany is still very beautiful. It's still very orderly. It's still, the fields are kept well, everything is flourishing, and there is not much of doom and gloom, only in the heads of people.
Yeah, I believe the same. But that is some kind of... I would call it's a positive spirit, in a way. That you see what you want to see.
Yes.
So how does the spirit comes into that immortal things? Does it change in a way? Is it spiritual? If you take
the spirit has always been immortal. The body is mortal. You have always been immortal. You come back in different bodies from time to time, and this is your umpteenth life in this body. Before that, you were in a different body. Then before that, you were in a different body, and you are immortal. The soul is immortal, the spirit.
Yeah.
But the body is mortal. Alchemy is about making the body immortal, so the immortal soul can live for longer time, can use for longer time a vehicle for the identification as a human.
Mm-hmm. But simply practical. If I age and I'm 60, I have a certain look, I have a passport and things. And if I would be 120, going back to 30, then aging to 60, of course I would change my look. Yes. And I need a new passport. Where does it come from? What is the practical part? You have to live in different countries because all your relatives died away.
Oh, yes.
And you're still going.
Yeah.
How can you explain this to other people?
You don't. You simply move. You move, you buy another passport. They are being sold, on the black market. You can buy a passport. Anybody can buy a passport. So you buy a passport, you pack up your little bag, and you move. And you move to an area where they get to know you as a young man. And they say, oh, what a fine young man breezed into town. And then you set up shop there, and you live there until people look at you as sort of not aging. Then you move again.
Is it good not to age, or is it good to stop using the liquid and then aging along with the others, and then?
Oh, it's your call.
After a while you say, okay, now I'm 60, I'm going back to 30.
Whatever you wish. I don't want to age anymore because the aging process is a bit painful, but you may want to go cyclic. That is, rejuvenate, then age again, rejuvenate, like Saint-Germain did. I don't want to do that, but this is my own personal thing. I might think different 200 years from now, and I might go cyclic. But for now, I don't. And it is everybody's personal decision how they like it.
Mm-hmm. So what do you feel right now? You take the liquid now for how long?
14 months.
Mm-hmm. And you said...
I'm still healing.
Yeah, between 3 and 4 or 5 years it takes you.
Yeah.
It needs to take you back.
I need a few more months with the healing. And then if we make another interview, say half year from now, you will see it on my hair that it will be all brown again. I was white. Mm-hmm. Now it's not so white, but it's nowhere. But in about half a year, at the end of healing is when the hair reverts back and the teeth start growing, but that's a different story and you need to explain a lot. But when the hair reverts back to its original color, then the healing has been completed. That's the thing. And when that happens, then you start rejuvenating. I'm still in the healing part after 14 months.
Have you met people who experience that they are young and their relatives die? So this process of bringing your kids to grave.
It is so natural that we don't really talk about it. You see, I have a few acquaintances who are very old. They sure have put to rest their relatives and grandchildren and stuff. It's so natural and understanding that it's not a topic of discussion, because it is nothing. It is only for humans who are mortal such a big deal that somebody dies because he feels that he is the next one, maybe. That's why he's making a big deal out of it. But for the immortals, it's not. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they die, sure, they will come back.
Do you believe that if you are immortal and you have a grandchild, for example, you see the grandchild dying, would you say that you meet him again in a couple of 100 years?
Yes, I'm sure I will meet him again, and I will recognize him. And I don't know when, and I don't know how, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not such a burden. Then it's not such a loss. It's not such a despairing thing.
If you hear about immortality, then you have first to think about what that means to you.
Yes.
In a way.
Yes. Then when you thought about it, then you get afraid.
Yes, in a way.
Then confused.
Afraid, confused, yes. Because you think, okay, what will happen with me, with others? Where's the beef, as the English people say? So what is in for me if I take it? And when this process is over, do you think that the people are then ready for taking it?
People are ready to take it when they are ready to take it, and it is always a personal decision. And you see, you were born when you were born into this body. Now you are X years old with X amount of life experience. And if you stay mortal, then you will die. The body falls out from under you, you are liberated, and you get into another body which is wiped clean, knows nothing, you have to learn everything. Most probably you will have a stupid mother, most probably you will have to go to stupid schools, learn stupid things, will be half destroyed by the time you reach adulthood, and you learn the rubbish again. Is that worth it? Now, if you are X amount of years, you take the red lion and you rejuvenate, and you don't have to learn anything again. You retain your life experience, which you gained for your 50, 60 years of life which you lived, and you have another 50, 60 years or 100 or 200 to live and improve that life experience. What's the use? How stupid it is to die if you don't have to.
Mm-hmm. But
the problem is they have to.
If you live longer, you have to work longer to earn money to support yourself.
No. If you live longer with that life experience, you don't have to work.
So what do?
You don't work. You play. You do your passion, and your passion will always earn you more than you need, and you don't need much. When you are 70 or 80 and you turned immortal, you are philosophically and first of all, you see, when the immortality develops, you have no mind anymore. So there is no greed, there is no fear, there is no anxiety, there is no desperation, there is no attachments, there is no misemotions, there is no sadness. And then you realize, well, I don't really need much, and I have much more than I have. So you can start working with your passion, and your passion will always bring. You see, my passion is making the red lion, healing, and people are standing in line. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. And I can't, because I don't have any to give. Mm-hmm. And there is no question that you have to work. You don't.
You said you don't have it because, okay, what you have, do you need it for yourself, I expect?
No, I have it, but there is never enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So do you buy it from others?
No, I make it.
Oh, you make it for yourself?
Yeah.
And why don't you make more?
Why don't I make more? Maybe I will make more. I don't know. You see, it's not easy to make. So you have to put your time and effort into it. But it is not about making more. Making more will get me into trouble, definitely, because the human greed factor is always there. And I'm happy as it is. And I let life happen around me. And like this interview, I didn't want to come here. I didn't think about coming here. I didn't know anything about you. Mm-hmm. You wrote me an email. You said, come, let's do a podcast. I said, life puts up that thing while I am sitting on my farm doing absolutely no social intercourse. Yeah, sure, let's go do it. You see, that is how you will live too. Life gives various things, opportunities, and when you like one, you simply grab it and you go. And I'm now here sitting, talking to you with absolutely no agenda. We are just talking.
Yeah, that's the reason for this talk.
And I don't want to achieve anything. I don't want to teach anything. You are asking me questions because you're interested. I'm giving you an answer. It's not always a nice answer, but...
Yes, but it's interesting for our audience that they can see it from a different perspective, just to see what it means to be immortal and how it changes the way of thinking.
Oh, it changes it in every way, and they will never know how it changes it until they themselves try it. It's a whole new experience. It's a totally different life.
Is it enough just to take the red lion, or do you have to work on yourself before you do that?
No, it's enough to take the red lion.
And that changes everything.
That changes, first of all, that heals. And it heals in such a way that you never thought possible. So it changes your thoughts about the possibility of healing and the whole aspect of healing. And by that, your thinking process is changed. Then, it changes your ego. It calms your ego. Your ego goes back to its place. The tail does not wag the dog, so the dog starts wagging the tail, and you have your mind back, which is your biggest servant. And so you're thinking absolutely differently about life as such. By taking the red line, you didn't have to work on yourself. Simply by calming your ego and changing the whole setup of power structure, the ego is not anymore your boss. You are its boss. Everything happens in a different way. And you don't even realize within a few months you drastically change in your behavior, in your thinking patterns, in your emotional patterns, in your preferences, etc., just simply by taking it. So no, you don't have to do anything much, but you will develop the taste of doing all sorts of things, which you will develop the taste for. But it's all individual, and it's all an absolutely personal process of evolution. Some will go into meditation, some will go into arts, some will go into clockmaking, some will go into animal husbandry, some will go whatever.
Okay. Sounds like an interesting way of living.
It is. It is an absolutely different way of living, an unknown kind of way of living, and I much prefer it to the way I lived before.
Okay, that's a wonderful word.
Yeah.
So I thank you so much to give us all these insights in immortality in your life and how it changed and what people can expect when they start to think about doing the same. It's a wonderful perspective.
Oh, I'm happy to have given a wonderful perspective.
So, thank you for being here. Und ich bedanke mich ganz herzlich auch bei Ihnen, liebe Zuschauer, dass Sie uns bis hierhin gefolgt sind und hoffentlich sehr viel über die Unsterblichkeit erfahren haben und ja, auch mitnehmen für die Zukunft, weil wer weiß, wohin sie führt. Auf jeden Fall zum nächsten Monat. Und immer am ersten Montag eines Monats, da sind wir wieder da mit Dieckmann lädt ein und ich freue mich, wenn Sie beim nächsten Mal wieder dabei sind. Bis dann und ja, bis demnächst in diesem Theater.